G'day guys, Josh here. Welcome to Mimiron. So Mimiron is the next encounter and arguably probably one of the hardest hard modes and probably one of the harder encounters in this instance. So Mimiron has 3 stages basically at the start. So 3 stages introduces you to all of the machines that he's got. So the first machine is the Leviathan. Basically, since you destroyed Flame Leviathan, his vehicle, he's got a new one which is a mini Flame Leviathan. So basically what you need to do as well is that you need to spread out generally around Mimiron due to Napalm Shell. So Napalm Shell fires a shell out and basically hits the person for a fire damage and puts dots on them. Also, as well with Leviathan, he spits out proximity mines. If anyone touches them, they go boom boom, and most likely any melee who touches the proximity mines is going to die. Just make sure you avoid the mines in general. This is probably the most deadliest thing in the counter. Shock Blast is that the melee need to run out away from Shock Blast and get out 15 yards without triggering a mine, otherwise they will die. Most likely you want to trigger a proximity mine while using a cooldown or clear out proximity mines so you can actually escape from Shock Blast. The next one is a really nasty tank debuff called Plasma Blast, which lasts for about 6 seconds, which you need to just basically pump heal the tank through. So basically this is the main mechanics in the kill tanks is the Plasma Blast essentially. After you do this, basically a can opener will come in and basically you can heal up and mana up during this time as well. It'll be a 15-20 second intermission and then basically VX comes out. So basically what will happen so far is that basically the chest will do rapid bursts of random players in the room and it's just pretty much just heal the people who get hit at this stage. You can flat heal assist off him as well. There'll also be a heat wave which will also deal a lot of damage to everyone in general, which will happen generally throughout the encounter. Just heal through it basically as well. For at this stage, you can have people loosely spread out in one third of the room because it's a lot easier to do so because it's a lot easier for healing compared to Leviathan where you can't really have people stacked up due to Napalm Shell. During this fight, this is the reason why you can't stack too much is the rocket strike. So basically, there'll be a giant red rocket in the room. It'll be easy to dodge. It kind of lasts almost just as long as Kel'Thuzad's Void Zones. If you get hit by it, you die. Now, next move is spinning up. So this is known as laser barrage, but it's spinning up. Basically, what happens is that the center chest person will stand in the room, and it'll look like it'll be charging a giant laser beam. And what you need to do is basically you need to I believe it goes clockwise around the room. So what you need to do is instead of running around clockwise, of course, you go anti-clockwise. So basically you can easily run out of it easily. But this will depend on the position of the room. If you're already behind the boss, always and rapid fire is, basically direct in front of the boss, just run clockwise. That's pretty much it. If you're in front of the boss, just run to the right and quickly dodge it. In before it runs anti-clockwise or it just doesn't matter and half of you guys get chewed up. If not, the safest point would be just behind the boss when rapid fire is occurring. So just be aware of that as well. And also just be aware you can't run through the boss. So merely make sure you actually do the dance. Once you got VX01 to 1%, you'll get his final guy out, which is the Aero Command Unit, which actually pops out of here. Just be aware that a ranged person must tank this. Okay, a million people can't tank this. Basically, there'll be assault bot, bomb bots, and junk bots that will spawn, which you can tank. With the bomb bots, you do not want to tank them. You just want to root them and kill them. Range should be on it immediately, basically, when they spawn. Melee should be on the assault bot. The assault bot drops a magnetic core, so that's the most important thing as well. And also has a magnetic field you need to spell, which you can spell pretty easily. And this is where you want to set your loot to free-for-all, because anyone can loot this. I'm not sure if it will be hotfixed on live, but we'll see. Now, what you need to do with this magnetic core, you need to just pick this up, drop it right under. This is the annoying part as well, because the Aero Command Unit is very finicky. Drop it under it, and it'll get stunned, and it gets 50% extra damage dealt to it, and everyone can DPS it basically as well. Then you go back onto the assault bots, range will deal with the bomb bots, and pretty much that's it. Just be aware that whoever's the ranged person is getting dealt a lot of damage from plasma balls. So basically, you have to have probably a dedicated healing team to make sure that ranged person stays alive. Preferably a warlock with searing pain. And also make sure that the assault bots and the junk bots are tanked away from the person tanking it as well. And you can use 1/3 of the room. As you can see here, basically there's not many abilities that punish people if you stack up. So you can be really realistically close to each other. Next up is Voltron. So basically they all combine together to make Voltron. Now, there's a lot of abilities that aren't cast anymore, such as Plasma, the tank ability, so Plasma Wave's not cast anymore. But you can see here that, not many abilities are casted too much. There will be a range needed to tank the head, so you need a range to tank the head, and also you need a person to tank the bottom. So basically, the tanks and the range need to be topped up at all times. There'll also be still mines and shock blasts, and basically the middle thing is called a hand pulse, rather than its previous name, rapid fire. There's also rocket strike during the encounter, and there's also spinning up. Now, with spinning up, it means everybody has to run. So the person who's doing the range tanking may want to be a bit closer because they have to run whilst trying to range tank the head. Overall, this is when you probably pop your this is where you pop your bloodlust. All the parts of the machine will be together at 50%, so you can move the boss as well. So the boss isn't stuck in the middle. So you can move the boss to make rapid fire easy to dodge, but I recommend keeping it in the center of the room because otherwise, if you move it during rapid fire, you're just gonna kill people pretty much, or spinning up as they call it, not rapid fire, spinning up. Next up is hard mode. So hard mode is basically pushing the button at the back of the room. As you can say, do not push the button. So you can see here, there's a button in the back of the room, you push it. So basically everything that happens is that Mimiron gets 10% health and 10% more damage, but you also get a flames debuff, okay? So basically 2 flames will drop around at any airway in the room. And what you want to do is you want to have a class like a hunter or any rage class can attack on the move. Basically stand near the flames. The flames operate on a Doomfire system as well, where they will follow the person that is targeted. Or that is not targeted, that is closest to them. So the person who's closest to them can basically put the flames in areas that are not threatening. So basically, if you're going to tank him, let's just say you're going to tank him in this quadrant of the room down here, you can have a person with the flames and just keep kiting them to the left and right over and over again, making sure they're in range of heals, of course. And basically, the flames will be in not threatening parts of the room. But however, there are things that will get rid of the ads as well. So there'll be a flame suppressant, basically dousing all the flames. However, anyone in it will be, the cast speed will be slower. So basically, Leviathan has a water gun kind of thing, and he also has a little water spear kind of thing as well. I believe that's in phase 2, actually. Next up is the Frost Bomb, okay? So pretty much, there is a Frost Bomb from VX as well. Basically, there's a Frost Bomb's little spear. You do not want to be in range of that, okay? You don't want to be in range of it at all, but it will get rid of the fire in that area. You can still cut the fire around, of course. Remember, after every intermission, there'll be a new fire spawning, most likely. Now, also as well, the middle of the room does a spinning move that will basically extinguish all fires around in the area. So merely don't worry too much if a fire gets in the area, it will eventually be extinguished by the boss itself. Next up is the area of command. They'll have a emergency fire bot, which will basically spray the fire down around the area. Anyone who gets hit by gets knocked back 15 yards, so basically watch out. And also, anyone within 10 yards of the bot can't cast. So pretty much what you got to do is just let the firebot, let's let the bots do their thing. And the only reason why you're killing the bots is you're dragging the boss into that area. Let's be real. You can even keep the boss up, like the bot up, during Voltron, okay? During the final encounter as well. With Voltron, it has frost bombs as well. It's very chaotic towards the end of Firefighter. Basically just want to burn everything down as quickly as you can. You can keep some of the emergency firebots up. You don't have to really kill them unless they get in your way. But you can keep these guys up as well because they are probably the best at getting rid of the fire on this fight. And pretty much after you get all of them to 0%, it's pretty much a kill. However, you can get to within 0% within probably about, I believe it's either 15 or 20 seconds of each other. Otherwise, they'll self-repair back to 25% HP, and you have to do the process all again, which is, I can tell you right now, with Firefighter, you've only got about 8 minutes or 8 to 10 minutes to do the thing. And if you don't complete it in that time, everything blows up and you die. So pretty much you can't mess up on self-repair. On normal, you can mess up on self-repair, but it's got to be very, very dicey because you need to get everything else to 0%, or you need to stop DPSing certain things as well. With the last phase, what you want to do is you want to have auto range DPS in the head, auto merely cleaving the middle and the bottom, and you can cleave it as well, so Blade Flurry does work. The range can help out as well by multi-donning, but most likely you want to DPS the head down as well, as quick as you can as range. And all what you do as well with the range and melee, you can balance out all the HPs very, very easily to make sure they all go to 0 at roughly the same time. The first thing you do want to kill though is the head, so basically make sure the head dies first and then kill the others afterwards as well, because the others don't have many abilities other than spinning up that can really hit you very hard. Anyways, we'll get you guys into the fight and give you guys a bit of a process on how hard mode works. So basically, as soon as you press the button, the boss starts. But pretty much, as you can see here, the fire, you can see how I'm kiting it like this. Like the fire does follow me. So you can have your, 2 range classes just casting, getting the fire away from people. Now, also as well, you have to be kiting the fire during the intermission. So you can see here, I'm still cutting the fire, cutting it to the edge of the room, which we won't be using, essentially. Also, you can see the proximity mines is here as well. So we'll go in more and more of the counter as well. So with the intermission, you just want to cast the fire away, and if every intermission a new fire spawns. Now, pretty much what you want to do is you want to have another range class, cut the fire. Basically, you get your other range buddy eventually to line up the fires, where there's just one person cutting both fires. So they can put them onto the edge of the room, and they overlap, as you can see here. Now, next up is is obviously the middle part. I will show you if it will do it, that it will clean the area. Also, you know, at the start of intermission, at the end of intermission, a new fire will spawn. And basically what he'll do as well, I'm trying to show it for you guys quickly, is that he will clean. See here? He'll automatically clean every few seconds ago. Descent their melee platform as well. So basically, if there's flames in melee, don't worry about it. The middle guy will clean it eventually. And just be aware, make sure you're cutting these flames to the edges of the room. If your flames, you know, obviously hitting this area, it is not good whatsoever. Generally, when pulling with the red button, you have one person hit the red button and everyone else on the edges of the room to get the doom fire starting on the edge, and the hunter, whoever's on it, to kite it around. And that's the same thing with the intermissions as well, is that you want to go to the edges of the room, and then basically the hunter marries it up and it's good to go. Now, this is basically the head. So the head, essentially, the blue bots, the blue, I believe, are junk, and also it does the emergency fire bots to spawn as well. But the red one is the assault bot, and everything else is junk. The bomb bots come directly from the boss, and you want range to root it and DPS it very, very quickly. Now, the green ones, I believe, are the junk bots. So red is for assault, green is for junk. So now with the assault bot, you got to be very, very precarious with how this magnetic core works. You got to make sure you're directly under the boss, make sure a bomb bot is not ready, and basically drop the finger like this, and hopefully it is under the boss, and then the boss gets well wound like that. And then you kill it, and that's pretty much it. With the emergency fire bots, I just recommend to just stay away from them. If they come close to you, just kill it. But I recommend just stay away from the firebots, because the firebots will do their thing and get rid of all the fire. As you can see here, basically they are very, very quick to getting rid of all the fire. See that? Very, very quick. So you want them just lurking around. If they come into melee, just destroy them, okay? That's pretty much it. And you also can keep, you know, the fire guys up for the rest of the fires. You can see here as well, the emergency firebots, because they'll get rid of all the flames for you as well, and generate a lot of room around the area as much as they can. Now, this is Voltron. You want to probably kill these guys all at the same time. Basically, they all start at 50% HP. And pretty much as you can see, I think you've got 10 minutes to finish this fight. So pretty much as spinning up, which you need to make sure you run clockwise with, or anti-clockwise with, you see there, it started doing clockwise hit with the rapid fire. Make sure you run anti-clockwise. So basically, if you're here with rapid fire charging up in front of you, move to the right and you'll dodge it, always. And that is Mimiron. Be aware as well with Mimiron as well. You can engineer him as well for some mats. So if you're engineering, make sure you engineer it. And that's pretty much Mimiron. Hope you guys have a great day. And I know this was a long guide, but this is one of the guides where you actually need to explain the encounter. It's not like, you know, there are some strict positional guidelines that you need to do. See you guys later. Peace out. Bye.